Good afternoon. My name is Preston Johnson, and today I want to talk to you guys about the ethical side of the Second Amendment. So, the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791 as the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. What it does is it allows American citizens to bear arms. This means guns, of course. You probably heard a lot about that. Basically, what it does, it allows American citizens to bear firearms, to have guns in your home. Since 1791, this amendment has stood strong. However, there have been some, adjustments that have been made. For example, a felon cannot own a firearm. Someone that is deemed mentally incapable is not allowed to own a firearm. And regular citizens cannot own firearms that are deemed to be extremely dangerous. This would include things such as, rocket launchers, because who really needs a rocket launcher? I have seen people own tanks. However, they're not, military grade tanks. They have been altered to a civilian, where a civilian can own it. So just things along that nature. However, the main argument behind the Second Amendment and guns in general would be a ban on assault rifles. That's been a big thing recently in the past couple of years. Assault rifles basically, would include things such as an AR-15, an AR-10, other variants of the AR, also AK-47s, AKMs, AK-74s, and other variants of the AK-47. Basically, these rifles can be civilian-owned. However, they were basically designed to shoot a military-grade caliber, such as a 5.56 out of the AR-15 and the other variants. AR-10s do shoot a .308. That is a hunting caliber. AK-47s will shoot a 7.62. Obviously that's Russian and Romanian, but however, the civilian calibers that they shoot, the bullets they're sold are a little bit different, such as for the AR-15. The military grade caliber for that would be a NATO 5.56. However, the civilian caliber for that would be a .223. Also, these weapons are semi-automatic, but they can be adjusted legally. Well, not legally, excuse me. There are legal and there are illegal aspects to that. For example, the legal side of making an AR-15 fully automatic would be a bump fire stock. It does not interfere with the trigger mechanism. When you interfere with the trigger mechanism to make a gun fully automatic, that's when it becomes illegal. And I think that's really where people get confused. So I want to first look at assault rifles through the scope of virtue ethics. Virtue ethics is where it deems the character of an individual. As discussed previously, felons cannot bear firearms because they have deemed themselves and their character to be unworthy of toting a gun. Virtue ethics clearly states that the character deems whether or not an action is ethical. And so when a felon owns a firearm, they have shown that they are not responsible and, they're unfit and unjust to own a firearm. Therefore, they're not allowed to have one. However, people such as myself and others that, are responsible, follow the correct gun laws, do their paperwork, practice, adequate gun safety, they show that they are responsible. Therefore, their character is good. And so, therefore, I believe that owning an assault rifle through the scope of virtue ethics, I do believe that it is acceptable and ethical. I don't see anything wrong with that. As long as the correct and current laws are in place, it says that a felon who has bad character cannot own one. I think virtue ethics says it's okay. Moving on, I want to talk about natural law theory, which states that people go back to their primitive state. So I want to say that owning an assault rifle and a gun in general, for most individuals, comes down to protection. And that is obviously a primitive aspect that many people know. If you're put in a fight or flight or a dangerous situation, the first thing you're going to want to do is protect yourself. And that's where guns come in for most people. So therefore, even through natural law theory, I do find that guns, especially assault rifles, are deemed ethical. I don't see anything wrong with that. So to the scope of natural law theory and virtue ethics, I do believe that the Second Amendment, and even owning assault rifles. I find that it is ethical and acceptable. I don't think anything's wrong with it. Thank you for your time, and hope you have a great day.